Maryland is poised for an invasion of epic proportions this spring. And as Susan Kenedy reports, officials say this pest is capable of millions of dollars in damage.
At first glance, the spotted lanternfly almost looks pretty.
I mean,
that's
really,
gorgeous,
if you
isn't
look
it?
at it, it's really kind of a pretty...
It is.
A pretty bug.
But don't be fooled.
No reports of them in Maryland yet.
This leaf-hopping pest recently overran parts of Pennsylvania and will more than likely be making its appearance in Maryland within the next few weeks.
It's a plant hopper, which means in its immature stage, it doesn't have the ability to fly, so it hops from plant to plant.
The lanternfly is native to China, Japan, and Vietnam. It made its way to the United States 3 years ago when a shipment of stone arrived in Pennsylvania with lanternfly eggs attached.
That is the adult female laying eggs.
Oh, okay. It feeds on several host plants, reproduces quickly, and has no known natural predators here.
This is a sucking insect, so it likes to go and it likes to suck the sap out of a tree. This leaves wounds. These wounds then attract other insects to it, typically stinging type insects, which around the home, the landscape, might be problematic. So it's a multi-phase problem. It's going to affect many of our landscape trees, much of our timber, they're concerned. It's going to affect hops, beer. Ah, yes, the new crop, it's going to affect hops.
Lanternflies develop in stages.
Starts off as a black and white nymph as it hatches, and then it adds in some red splotching to it.
And when it reaches adulthood, the lanternfly looks like a colorful moth. However, the bug feasts on grapes, peaches, and timber trees.
It has been shown to potentially decrease the sugar content in our fruit by as much as 50%. So our fruit growers have another round of invasives to pay attention to. They're just really getting the brown marmorated stink bug totally under control, and now we have this. So there's grave concern over this.
The insect tends to favor the tree of heaven or ailanthus tree. Experts are trying to come up with ways to eliminate the pest by systematically treating the trees that will kill the insect once it starts to suck the sap. And be on the lookout for the egg masses that show up on tree trunks and other hard surfaces.
One of the easiest things to do is to take something sharp or hard and scrape the egg mass off into a plastic bag and then add either some hand sanitizer or some alcohol to make sure we've killed it and then seal it up. That way you've got something that we can then follow through on and say, okay, this is or this is not. We don't want to alarm people, but we want to make sure that we are truly looking for any potential of these showing up.
So what should you do if you think you've spotted one of these invaders? Schuster says take a picture of it and contact the University of Maryland Extension office.